Good evening and welcome to the 11th Politics in Action event. My name is Professor Greg Fox and I'm the Director of the Sydney Southeast Asia Centre at the University of Sydney, and I'm delighted to welcome you all here to Politics in Action tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to pay my respects to the First Nations people of the lands upon which we're meeting, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to Elders past, present and emerging, and any First Nations people who are with us tonight, and just to acknowledge the continuous connection to country and learning which has taken place here over countless generations. A landmark survey which comes out each year was published just last month by the ICS Yusof Ishak Institute, which asked over 2,000 Southeast Asian opinion makers about what kept them up at night. And the answer this year was striking. For the first time, US leadership under President Trump overtook that of even the South China Sea as the region's top geopolitical concern. Confidence in America's commitment to free trade has fallen to just 14.8%, and Chinese investment in development finance increased by 50% in a single year. At the same time, other issues are also really important to the region. Climate change was the region's top overall challenge at 60%, up from 55% last year. And now 46% cite domestic political instability as a top challenge and a significant increase over previous years. So Southeast Asia is indeed a dynamic place, which is economically, politically and strategically of great importance both to Australia and the world. And Southeast Asia is navigating many of these challenges, sometimes without a clear, coherent voice. And so today, this is why we need to meet together and have conversations about how Southeast Asia is navigating the challenges of the 21st century. On behalf of the Sydney Southeast Asia Centre, I'm delighted that you can join this conversation. SEAC is home to over 500 academics based at the University of Sydney, with more than 10,000 members across the region. And we work together in pursuit of our mission being to foster impactful research and trusted knowledge partnerships in Southeast Asia. The Politics in Action event has three main objectives. The first is understanding, the second is conversation, and the third is connection. Tonight, we're going to understand better the way that each of the three countries that we will look at, Indonesia, Vietnam, and Singapore, are tackling many of the great challenges regionally and domestically. Secondly, we'll have a conversation facilitated by Professor Justin Hastings as a panel discussion at the end about how each country interfaces with each other and these broader trends that I've mentioned are playing out in each of those countries. And then finally, connection. We have a chance here during and then after to be able to meet each other and to have conversations which can increase collaboration and increase our understanding of each other and of the region. And as a researcher who has worked for more than 15 years in Vietnam and Cambodia, I think it's critical that we understand the context within which we're partnering and collaborating in order to have the most effective and impactful research and do so with genuine partnership and collaboration. So having made some general comments now, I'd like to hand over to our co-host for tonight. This event is co-led by the Sydney Southeast Asia Centre and the University of Sydney's School for Social and Political Sciences. So I'm delighted to introduce Professor Gaby Ramia, who's the head of school, to make some opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Greg. I also pay my respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and to their elders, past, present and emerging. I also acknowledge that the University of Sydney has been a place of learning for well beyond tens of thousands of years. School of Social and Political Sciences comprises four disciplines: anthropology, government and international relations, including politics and public policy, political economy, and sociology and criminology. We specialise in the study of societies, economies, and political systems. We unpack problems and policies designed to address them. Our partnership, I should say, with SEAC in tonight's event and more broadly for the longer term is clearly focused on the understanding that the social sciences, and not just one, but a multiplicity of them, are important to understanding the regions of the world. Southeast Asia is on Australia's doorstep. Indeed, I remember a Prime Minister who actually said that his perspective was that we are in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is home to some 700 million people and is a combined GDP exceeding US $3 trillion. It's Australia's most important regional partner bloc. We're currently witnessing simultaneous political transitions in three pivotal states, which are of most interest tonight. A generational leadership shift in Singapore, power consolidation in Indonesia, and the most sweeping institutional reforms in Vietnam since the 1980s. These transitions unfold in the context of intensifying US-China competition, pressure on ASEAN's cohesion, and a global trade architecture in flux. 2026 is a key year for all of us. For Australia, the stakes in our relations with Southeast Asia are direct. Our bilateral relationships with Singapore, Indonesia, and Vietnam span defence, trade, education, diaspora, and people-to-people ties. What happens in these three capitals shapes what's possible for Australia in the region. For everyone in this room, researchers, policymakers, business leaders, understanding the domestic political context is the precondition for effective regional engagement. Tonight's forum delivers just that. I'm looking forward to the discussion. Thank you very much and welcome everyone.
Our final speaker tonight will provide some closing remarks. Professor Gaby Belov is the Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Global and Research Engagement at the University of Sydney. And so could you please make her welcome?
Thanks, Greg. And what a terrific discussion. Thank you so much for that. I learned so much. And I think the thing that I was thinking as I was listening was the stories that we've heard tonight aren't abstract. They're the real operating environment that we're living in and working in here in Australia, but also at the University of Sydney. And they shape how we show up in the region, how we build our partnerships, and how we contribute with purpose and impact. So in our Sydney 2032 strategy, we're very clear. We intend to help shape Australia's role in the world with confidence and ambition. And Southeast Asia is central to that story. But as tonight has shown, it's not a one-size-fits-all region. Indonesia, Vietnam, and Singapore each present different sets of opportunities and a different level of complexity. Getting that right requires precisely the kind of grounded, nuanced insight that we've received today. And that's where SEAC comes in. Greg and his colleagues are doing extraordinary work, connecting research, policy, and practice across the region. And they're actually absolutely central in how we build a university that is genuinely a knowledge partner for Southeast Asia. So one of my asks as we wrap up is if you're not already a member of SEAC, join up, bring your ideas, bring your research, bring your questions, because it really is a collective effort. So it just leaves me to do some thank yous. So thank you for our stars tonight, Greg, Sandra, Gaby, our terrific speakers, Michael, Sana, Zhang, and Justin for moderating, and to all of you for engaging and asking questions. A big thank you to the SEAC team for doing all of the coordination. So thank you, enjoy the drinks outside, and make sure you have a chance to network with others here. Thank you.